Yo ho ho! What's going on, boys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you One Punch Man. That dang dude, bit 184. Now listen, I do apologize for the instance that happened here with the live reaction, but let's get it rolling. Let's get it popping. One Punch Man 184. So we start off the chapter with some great development for Tatsumaki. Exceptional. What I mean by development is that beforehand, this is an individual who didn't necessarily want to go out of her way to assist others or have others interfere. She kind of looked at the entirety of the S-Class as lowly and just taking up space in a burden. This was emphasized primarily during the meeting before the actual assault. We were discussing attacking the Monster Association itself. She mentioned that she could handle it herself and that they should just give up. They would just be in the way. And that actually turned out to be the scenario. I remember the famous meme that was made during the time period a few years ago. There used to be a variation of the actual panel called The Strong that we got in the Super Arc fight, where Suryu, Saitama, and the boys were all in four paneled out, horizontal panels looking badass. And then the community edited in there every single one of the S-Class heroes that was getting clapped at the moment. Atomic, Zombie, Darkshine, and a My Mask. All paneled up getting clapped, bro. The Strong. Hilarious. But this is a callback to that. Now we see Tatsumaki, just because of the interaction with Saitama, changing her perspective, at least in the slightest, for those who are underneath her. Her subordinates, as it were. Not necessarily because she's in control, but because they're directly below her. I wouldn't necessarily call them co-workers because she doesn't see them as that. Maybe we are moving towards that for sure, but this is just the first step. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. She decides to actually do the commercial based on this particular viewpoint. The fact that Saitama at not too long ago, 3 years ago officially, but she doesn't know that, was weak as hell. Couldn't even beat a monster on his own. Couldn't get it done. And now he's weathered through everything Tatsumaki could throw at him, to the point that she became exhausted. Just this alone, just that fortitude, that resilience of Saitama helped convince her. Just the thought that if somebody like Caped could be out there, who else? The actual drive for her to do the commercial, aside from Saitama's catalyst, she wants to show these new applicants what the standard's going to be for the S-Class, what we need. But as the Hero Association has pointed out, not only with Tatsumaki, but with the other S-Class in general, just this very chapter, not to mention the previous chapters, or what you can allude to and put together, compiling all the different instances that have happened. But the S-Class are unreliable. Whether it be that they cannot arrive to the different disasters that happen across the cities, whether it's that they're unwilling to help, whether it's that they're ignoring the instances like in the case of Metal Knight, as the association is starting to really get annoyed with him because of that particular instance, or whether it's because you're Blast and you're dealing with a much greater threat and you're not available for these other not more prominent, or more prevalent threats that are occurring here directly threatening the city folk. I want you guys to refer to way back in the day, way back, I want to say 5-6 years ago, when Garou first showed up. I believe it was chapter 47, 48, or around there. Sitch had called a meeting amongst the villains because the influx of monster appearances had continued to grow. It wasn't just a small change or a small increase. It had continued to increase exponentially to the point that they were short-handed. They were short-staffed. Sitch called upon villains, vigilantes, those who he sought after himself to capture, and Garou was amongst them. Back then, the recruiting tactics had gone to that extent, and now we've developed them, we've changed it to the point where Tatsumaki is being offered a commercial to help not only improve the ratings, which, as this chapter pointed out, and as kind of like, it's been kind of the underlying message that the executives have been portraying, or Murata has been portraying for the executives, that they have to keep a high approval rating to keep their sponsorship high, to make sure that their revenue and their income is sufficient enough to maintain all the hero activities and all the facilities that they've been running. Now we're at the point where we're moving from that type of recruitment to general recruitment for anybody, calling any type of individual out. Hey, come sign up for the association. It's interesting to see the change that's been going on there, especially with the bomb that was dropped at the end of the chapter in reference to, I don't know if I should be talking about this already, but in reference to there being another association, in reference to one of the new characters Axel talking about the end of the current Hero Association? Like, whoa, bro. Whoa. So, are these the tactics that a dying association resorts to just before it croaks? Or is this an advancement that's going to save the original Hero Association from going under? Like, we see how shady they are, but they are the foundation of heroism in this world. We don't have another equivalent, and it is the very first hero organization, as it were. So maybe it isn't unusual to expect variations, improvements, advancements, or even completely new entities to usurp the current standard, because there has to be a better standard, right? The association has been plagued with corruption since we've seen it in the beginning. Since the beginning, whether it fits the erroneous and inaccurate hero rankings, whether it's the competition plagued rankings of the A, B, and C class, the games that they play, trying to shoot up to the top, the position holding that A and B class individuals in particular are participating in, such as Fubuki and a My Mask even. Like, there's all different kinds of issues, not to mention the hidden workings behind the Hero Association. Like, not to mention all of that. Maybe there is good reason to drop these boys. Maybe Tatsumaki really was effed over by having a Mai edit this. Maybe that's another sign of the BS that the Hero Association is fundamentally made of. Not even a part of, not even has been corrupted by, but is fundamentally made of. Now we move on to the introduction of a few new characters. And one of the new techniques that the association is using to gather new applicants in terms of scouting, going out and looking for people. Apparently they've been doing this for not too long, but longer than what we've seen, and ferociously too, bruh, tenaciously, to the point that both of the individuals who we primarily saw as examples of those who were being scouted were annoyed at how persistent the association was with their efforts. We get the first hero that we see is a guy named Axel. Or at least that's what the translation is. At the end of the chapter, you get a note detailing why it was shortened to be Axel. It's really a play on the term, on the weapon axe and accelerate. Kind of, I guess, like a description of what the character is going to be fighting, like speed and using his axe. So we'll see more about that. But this individual was encountered by the scout named Shizuka. I told you about them association girls, didn't I? I told y'all about them association girls, didn't I? Didn't I? She's competent at that, or at least she's tenacious enough to go after Axel in that conversation for dinner, like it was nothing, bitch. Being straightforward, bro. Like out here dropping facades, like it's her, like it's the last resort, bitch. Like she out there really trying to get this boy on the team, bitch. Shizuka comes in, and let me say that she held up her end of the bargain as a presentation. In terms of like a character who I would expect, or the image of somebody who I would expect in this particular role. But Axel, boy, let me tell you, was that first impression bad? Hey, bro, y'all heard with the darkness mask character archetype, man. That's right with his head. Like, god damn, bro. Looks badass. The chest plate is badass, bro. The straps on the side of his chest plate look like a thing, man. The forearm guards that probably got blades and stuff in them too, bro. Like his whole fit looked badass, bro. With the knee set up, and then you get down to the shoes. Old boy wearing skates, bro. Like, bro. And this is one punch, bro. So just like I just mentioned, you got guys out there like Darkness Blade who look like that thing, bro. Look like he's him. But straight cheeks out there in the comment, bro. This man is S-class? And that she could guarantee him an S-class spot, while the others would have to work their way up through C, B, and A class? That's almost like the fact, or the way that the dialogue was written out like that, almost alludes or almost makes it certain that this individual really is S-class quality. That it's not like he's being offered a role as incentive to get him into the association so that they can use his resources. Because as Axel himself pointed out, it's not like they're recruiting him because he's a valued asset. They need expendable bodies. People who they can just throw at threats and it doesn't matter what happens. Like, that's what they need more of. And he understood that. And she dropped the facade and made that very, very clear. Like, yeah, that's the case. That's what we need. We need more people. And if you happen to win, good shit. We want strong people. But if you get clapped, you get clapped. But we need people to get clapped. And I think she's saying that this nigga's S-class. And it almost alludes to the other, the sumo guy also being S-class. Now, does this mean that when we're the people who we're seeing being scouted are going to be S-class? Is the sumo guy also S-class? I don't think it means that exactly. But the sumo guy did look as tough, if not tougher, than this guy here. Because he was alone, basically. Like, I don't know what the exact context here is. I don't know what exactly we're supposed to be taking from this, because at first I was thinking like, okay, we're gonna get new heroes, because we got Suryu out here talking about joining the association and wanting to be a hero. We got Bang talking about he's gonna try to push Garou into being a hero. So those are two slots that we need, two big boys that would definitely be S-class. But now that we have competition here, now we have another organization that's potentially recruiting for this. What does that really mean? Are we going to see competition for those types of recruits? Are we going to see competition amongst the two organizations in terms of fighting? Or is it going to be like an opposing organization is going to be basically pushing underhanded tactics to get more attention or a higher approval rating amongst the community, to basically like usurp the industry of heroism? Because as far as everything's concerned right now, the Hero Association is the one that takes care of everything. Like, for the most part, as was described in this chapter, the military and the police have their hands filled. So the association has free reign to act almost as they will. We just saw Tatsumaki devastate, greater than any army could, of multiple cities in an instant, on a whim, bro. On a whim. Their militaries can't do this. And nothing happens. They cover it up saying that, oh, we were dealing with monsters, so it's okay. We're going to pay for the damage. And pay for the damage and to take care of it. Like, that's it? Like, imagine an opposing organization capturing a dangerous monster purposely, not killing it, releasing it in the territory of the association, of the Hero Association, the original, and having the Hero Association send out heroes to fight it, get clapped, and then they're responsible for all the damage. They get the blame. In comes in the secondary or the second generation of the Hero Association, or the association, whatever we want to call them, and then they save the day. They pull a whole Deep Sea King scenario, and they Saitama a bit. Like, are we gonna see shit like that? There's great potential in this particular storyline.